All right, the next one is to get to a more complicated level of buttons and widgets and so forth. Now to do this, we're going to have to stretch this out because it doesn't all fit on the screen. But let's look at this button current. You see it over here? Current. And the ID of it in GTK is, in Glade, excuse me, is show current. Show capital C for current. Okay, so that's the current button. And what does it look like over here? Come on, let's drag. This gets inconvenient, but you have to do it. I don't know any other way around it if you've got something that's wide angle like this. Show current, there's its ID. The contents of the button is the word current. Packing, that's where it goes within the container that it's contained in. X and Y location. Common, pretty standard. There's a tooltip. There's nothing unusual here. There is the name of the label in the gtk.css that will be used to paint the button. That's not a normal appearing button, as you know. So minor button is what causes it to be yellow with a red outline and a black text, and it also sets the text height. So that's current. And then over in signals, not surprisingly, it's on show current clicked. All right. Looks perfectly normal. It's pretty much the same as the skip. However, if I go to edit, come on, bring up edit there. There we go. We got a current down here too. Does the same thing. It's not the same button, but it does the same thing. Its name is show current 1. All right. Matter of fact, Glade automatically added the 1 when I copied it into this other page, but it's a different button. It's got a different ID. Its location is comparable. It's not exactly the same location. It's got the same tooltip. It's got the same GTK CSS paint code. But in the signals, you'll notice here, it's not on show current 1. It's on show current clicked. So what does that mean? It means if you click this button, which is really show current 1, the signal generated will be show current. In other words, both buttons go to the same signal handler, which is perfectly legal. All right, so we got two buttons, current and show current, and they both go to the same signal handler. Now, in the code, you're going to find the actual signal handler is going to be for the original show current, but you'll have to remember that that signal handler is being used for two different buttons, which do the same thing. So if I say grep show current star, we're going to see, let's see, where is this? We see the blah, blah, blah here. Here's the show current clicked. All right, there is the actual signal handler, and it's in compiled code. And then there's a flag with the similar enough name, so it was picked up by the grep. In the externs, we've got an extern for show current. We got an extern for show current 1. There's another flag, which is again the same flag, but it's also extern. Then in the objects, we've got two objects. We've got show current and show current 1. And then in the widget declarations, we've got two declarations, show current and show current 1. And in the tooltips, we've got show current 1 in there twice, because turn them off, turn them on. And there is some derelict code that's, I comment stuff out and eventually go in and delete it after I've not used it for a certain period of time. So I can if I made a choice I didn't like, I can get out of it. I can just uncomment the stuff and go back to where I was. So you do find that in the code. It doesn't really mean much of anything. But no, there was a different CSS code that was applied to current. Might be again, I don't know. But that's why it's commented out. So anyway, you can see show current and show current 1 are both in there, but there's only one signal handler. And there'll be several like that where we have buttons on different pages. They have to be separate buttons, but they do the same thing. So I make them do the same thing by having them target the same code, the same signal handler. We do something similar with the sliders and so forth, where we use the same adjustment value. But anyway, so those are essentially duplicate buttons, but technically they're separate, but they're handled by the same signal handler.